This is an ABUS 8345 100-year anniversary lock. This has a Yale keyway, and we're going to use a 1mm tensioner in the top of the keyway here, and then a Jimmy Long's medium round hook, kind of a catch-all hook. 5 is binding, and it immediately drops into a false set, so every other pin is a spool. Kind of snaking our way through the keyway, just trying to rub up against the pin to find a binder. Pin 1 is definitely binding. Very high lift. Came out of the false set, so let's go touch 5 again. There we go. Three is binding now. Now 2. Should just leave 4, ideally. Definitely stubborn getting that last lip. There we go. Back in our false set, but no open. So something else must have dropped. Feels like it was maybe 3. There we go. And we're open. So let's take a look at this lock here. So here's our 100-year anniversary iron rock. As you can see, it's opened up there. So let's go ahead and get this lock gutted. Try to get the camera reoriented every time for gutting. All right, so get some light in there. It looks like we have a Phillips head screw keeping us locked up. Remove this retaining screw, and the core will come right out the bottom now as we lift this. So you can see there's a little key retaining Z-bar in there. Let's see if we can get that out here. Maybe in there pretty good, so we may just leave it. It's not a big deal. Here's our core. We're gonna go ahead and lock it back up to get it cuttable. I once had a problem with this core and had to drill it top and grub it back up. But we're gonna gut it the normal way instead of just the one grub screw. So there's a tail piece, our retaining clip, and so now we're going to turn the core. We have a retaining bolt right there. We're going to just push on it, push it in. It is spring loaded. should let us navigate this core out. There we go. I'm gonna grab a phone over here before we start pushing and shooting all our drivers everywhere. And we put a driver into the core. Didn't have it turned well enough. Let's go ahead and lock that up again. It's very difficult to get this thing turned and then get this pin pressed in and pushed in at the same time, in my opinion. There we go. I think I got it. And I did drop one of those drivers into 6 there. That would be the driver in 5, which is why it's short. So we're gonna go ahead and dump that out. Almost had a gutting fiasco in real time. There's a little barrely standard type pin there. Oops. Guess we're dumping our key pins out in real time there. Let's go ahead and figure out what they were. We got this heavier high lift there. Looks like we might go here with that one. Nope, still a little short. Still short. That may be our very high lift pin. He may belong in chamber 1, actually. Yep. So then, kind of a moderate length pin for 2, 3. Oop. That's upside down. And it might be too long anyways, but nope, it's the correct one. 3 and 4. So there they are. Key pins correct again. Let's go ahead, get them dumped out. Key pin 1, key pin 2, 3, 4, and 5. Should match our key pretty well. And let's get these 4 remaining driver pins out. I did drop one of them, like I said, into chamber 6 there when I pulled forward and let it twist. So spool in 1. We're gonna drop springs right away 2. Spool in 2. Like I said when picking, I was pretty sure that I remembered right that it was spools in every slot, but that one That's kind of a standard feeling when you pick one pin and get an immediate false set that everything else has a narrower element at the shear line. And yep, spool in 4 as well. Get 4 spring out. And then 5 spring. Hopefully I didn't mangle it too much, but I probably got a little bit mangled. Yeah, definitely got mangled a little bit. We'll have to fix that afterwards before we reassemble, but kind of to be expected when you flip it into another one. And then so as you can see through the bottom there, no specialty to the chambers except that I have put a grub in 5 that you can kind of tell that, you know, there's a brass one and there's a black one and there's a brass. You're seeing the bottom of that grub there as opposed to the brass. That is to deal with issues like that where you may accidentally drop a driver pin in there and can't get it easily fixed. That's just because this came as a 6-pin core pinned with 5 pins. Probably should have used a shim, but I like to live dangerously. And I will see you all next time. That's the 8345.